December 23rd and 38 degrees. But the sun's out. This is probably going to be it for a while. Real cold setting in after this weekend. Today's topic: why you shouldn't buy a used bike from a dealership. But I just did that, you might be saying. I did, and I will probably never do that again. And I'll tell you why. Money, yeah, but more specifically, warranty. So, when you buy from a dealership, you're pretty much paying top dollar. The bike you buy at the dealership on the used market is going to be less, or I should say in the private sale market. You have to qualify that. There's always people selling their bike who have outrageous asking prices. But I'm talking about the price that a bike is typically going to sell for, private sale, is going to be considerably less than what a dealership is going to charge. Now, let's back up a little bit and talk about cars first. My first car, $600, 72 Nova in 1984. I overpaid. It's a piece of junk. I fixed virtually everything on that car. But it was bought as is, no warranty. If I drove it down the street and the engine fell out into the street, you know, it's my problem. That is exactly the same terms that applied to this bike that I just bought this year at a dealership. I didn't really think that through at the time. I broke a lot of my own rules when I bought this bike, because it was an emotional purchase, I admit, but more on that later. So after my wife and I got married and got a little bit established, you know, our first few used cars were through the newspaper, but we were fortunate to have a used car dealership in our area that was pretty big. They had lots of cars, and virtually everything they sold had a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on the drivetrain. And they would also cover non-drivetrain stuff for a period of time as well, like if the radio broke or something like that. So you could buy a used car and only spend, you know, $3,000 to $5,000 and have some degree of confidence that you could ride this thing around for 1 to 3 months, depending on how many miles you put on it. And if something catastrophic went wrong with the drivetrain, they would repair it. And I did have them do a number of warranty items on some of the cars I bought over the years, and that was great. So at the time, that always seemed like the best option, as opposed to buying something listed in the newspaper, which was as is with no warranty, because no matter how thoroughly you inspect the car before buying it, you just don't really know everything that's wrong with it, and you don't know the history. So you own it, literally and figuratively. Alright, so that was kind of my background. Then years went by and we were able to afford the purchase of a new car, and we've done that about every 5 years. We've gotten a new car, and each time I get a new car, we've kept them for 10 years. I put 5 years on them and hand them off to my wife. They're still in fantastic shape. So by the time 10 years goes by, these things have over 200,000 miles on them. So we definitely got our money's worth. So what's all that got to do with bikes? Well, I never really gave it much thought when I was looking at buying this bike from the dealership, and this all happened in the span of about 5 days. If it even had a warranty. And like a knucklehead, I just assumed, well, it's, you know, from a Harley dealer, it's got to have some kind of warranty. And only later did I realize that there was really no advantage, and that's really what I want to highlight. There's no advantage to buying it from a dealership than buying it private sale. In terms of warranty, nothing. Not a thing. And yet you pay a premium to buy it from a dealer. What do you get for paying that premium? Well, you really don't get anything, in my opinion. Now, on this particular bike, it was a color that I wanted, and I know some people don't care about color at all, but I do. So it was Superior Blue, and for whatever reason, the previous owner had swapped the tins on this bike because Superior Blue wasn't an option until 2016, but this is a 2014. So how in the world did it get Superior Blue tins on it? Well, obviously he did a swap. So that's where the emotion part came in. It wasn't like I could go find the same exact bike on Craigslist or something like that. So I was willing to overlook a lot, or just kind of have my blinders on, which is not smart, but I'm human. What can I say? In the end, it didn't hurt me. I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with the bike where I needed a warranty and didn't have one. So fortunately, that did not matter. And the dealership did do some good things to the bike before they put it up for sale. They put new Michelin Scorcher tires on it. They put a new Harley battery in it. They replaced the rear brake pads. So, you know, those things are all good. Contrast that with my previous bike, the Sportster, which I did buy private sale. It didn't have a current inspection. The rear tire was shot. Those are probably the main two things, but there are a few other items that were you know, needed work. I knew that going in buying the bike private sale, but there is no requirement on the part of the dealer to do anything to the used bikes they sell. They basically are selling them as is without a warranty. And same in example as me buying my Nova. If I drove down the street and the engine exploded, they would not be under any legal responsibility that I am aware of to do a darn thing. Now, maybe they would because they have a reputation in the community, but really, come on, that probably doesn't matter. So, you know, there was no warranty in writing at all, and I very well could have been stuck high and dry. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going to go that way and buy a bike without a warranty and take that risk, why pay a premium at a Harley dealership? That's the question. In my case, the answer boiled down to they had the bike I want. I couldn't find that bike anywhere else, so it was kind of take it or leave it. So I knew I was going to pay a premium. Now, fortunately, I did see other lowriders of the same year for sale on Craigslist and other private sale places, which were comparable bikes, or even bikes without the upgrades that I did like. For instance, the Vance & Hines pipes, some cosmetic upgrades, but even forward controls, engine guard, you know, all the little stuff I would have paid to put on the bike anyway. So those bikes that were selling private sale were selling for about $1,000 to $1,500 less than what I paid. And arguably, after I did the same upgrades, I'd have been back at pretty much the same price. So I didn't feel too bad paying a little extra at the dealership and getting what I wanted. So it did work out in my case. But I have a feeling that next time, which, you know, maybe 5 years from now, I mean, I want to have this bike for a while. that I'll probably find what I want, private sale, and save some money and not pay the premium that the dealership charges. Now, if there are other dealerships that have warranties on their used bikes, then that's a whole nother story. But as far as I can tell, none of the dealerships around my area that I've been in have any warranties on their used bikes. So that was kind of an eye-opener to me, because virtually all the car dealerships that I know of provide some kind of a used warranty, you know? And you would think that just for the comfort factor, a dealership would provide at the very least, you know, 10-day, 1,000-mile warranty, something, just so that if you drive home with the thing and within a week or so you find out that, you know, it's burning through oil, or who knows, you know, you'd have some recourse to get the thing fixed without being out an arm and a leg. But apparently the market dictates otherwise, and apparently these dealerships are able to sell these bikes right off the floor at premium prices, as is, no warranty, and people line up to buy them. Suckers like me, baby. So I guess they don't have any incentive to offer any kind of a warranty. So that's why I say don't buy your bike, your used bike, from a Harley dealership. Now, of course, there are always exceptions, but that's my take on it. So I can't believe I'm out here. It's probably like 35 degrees, but I knew if I didn't get on this bike today and take a ride, sunny and dry out here, even though it's really cold, I would be kicking myself and regretting this for probably till next March. So thanks for coming along with me. I hope everybody's well, and that's about all I got. Till next time.